There is no medal of honor that says you win the badge of the busiest, most overcommitted, scheduled person in the planet or the universe. Hey everybody, Amy Walker here, and welcome to the CEO Spot. Today we are talking about how do you manage your life and all the chaos of managing kids and responsibilities, involvement in your community, and how do you also balance that out with growing your business and keep things a little bit organized so you have just a minute of sanity, like I can breathe, I can think, everything's gonna be just fine. So it's not easy, that's the first thing I'll tell you, but I definitely have come up with a lot of different strategies over the years, and I'm gonna show some of them to you today. So strategy number one. It takes a family to run a family. That's my motto, and I truly believe in it. There are 7 people that live in this house. There are 7 people that contribute to the mess. There are 7 people that eat the food. There are 7 people that can help do the chores. So one of the things that I am very clear on is my job in this home is to be the mother, but the mother is not the maid. And so we definitely make a coordinated effort to get everybody involved. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like.
This document here is what I call my family tracker, and this has been something that I have used consistently for the past several years. Although I don't necessarily have my kids in this is what I use as the starting place for keeping everything organized and signing everything out. So here's what it looks like. I have a copy of our routine of just knowing what's going on each day. So this is actually the last school year, but I am a little hesitant to show everybody what my kids are doing each day. So, safety first. All right, so we have the copy of the routine of who's supposed to be where each day of the week. And then these are the daily chores. So these are the things that they just have to be done every day. And what is really important about it is we have the task, then we have the description, how much time it should take, and the standards. So just so you know, your husband probably has different standards than you do, and your kids definitely have different standards than you do. And so we want to be able to write those down so that you can come back to your family and be like, hey, this wasn't done up to standard. So I have the things that need to be done every day. So kitchen, dishes, main floor, vacuuming the rugs, picking up the family room, sweeping, making green smoothies, making lunch, making dinner, prepping veggies, checking the kids' rooms to see if they need any help picking up, putting away toys in the playroom, gathering all dirty dish rags and towels, and getting the counters washed up. That stuff has to be done every day. Then we have the weekly chores. So this is how I lay out the things that I do each day of the week. So for example, laundry. I would much rather do a little bit of laundry every day than have to be doing a ton of laundry on one day. My older boys also do their own laundry mostly, but sometimes I do have to jump in and help. Wednesday is traditionally our food prep day, so that's where we kind of get things ready so that it's easier to have healthy stuff that we can throw together pretty quickly. And then, each day just kind of has their own focus. Then we have the daily schedule, and the daily schedule just shows us from 5 a.m. until we go to bed at night. What are all the things that are supposed to be happening, and how do we keep this all on track? Then the after school schedule is just the pickup times of where everyone's supposed to be. Okay, so then we have a breakdown from day to day. So now Monday has its own tab. So these are the Monday jobs that showed up on weekly chores, but it has its own tab with its own set of standards written out, which is really, really helpful. So like the boys' bedroom, wash Theron and Lincoln's laundry in bedroom, make sure laundry has been brought down, wash all clothes with handmade soap, treat any stains with stain remover, hang up shirts on hangers, fold underwear, socks, and put pants in the label drawers. estimated time, 1 hour, but it's not continuous. The standard, all labels need to be checked and given to the right boy. All clothes need to be put in the correct drawers. Those two boys have worn almost the exact same clothes, same size clothes for a couple of years, and their stuff gets messed up and it really bugs them. So we have that. And then each day of the week has their own. So I have one tab for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I also have a tab for bi-monthly jobs. These are things that they do need to be done, but they don't need to be done all the time. Monthly menu. This is something that I find to be very helpful. Now, I will tell you, my husband doesn't like to do this. So if we're in a phase of life where he's responsible for the cooking, I do not force this on him. But when it's me who's responsible for cooking dinner, I would much rather have a menu planned out and then we just rotate through. So we eat the same thing on the first Monday of every month, same thing on the second Monday, same thing on the third Monday. And then I know this is kind of unusual, but Saturday and Sunday, I usually don't cook. Truthfully, if we've cooked Monday through Friday, there's enough leftovers. The kids call it self-serve day, which sounds a lot more exciting than leftover day, but they just got to figure out what they want to do. I also have a tab in here for what our budget is, and then I keep a shopping list in here. So this is kind of my standard shopping list of all the things that I buy when I go to the store on a regular basis. And then I just have to go through with the list and say, do I need it? Yes or no? And then I can print that off and take that with me to the store. It makes it really easy to get that shopping done quick. The thing that I really love about this is we have on and off throughout the years had household help. We don't right now because all of the kids are in school and they are also getting older, and we're trying to teach them a little bit more responsibility for managing the home on their own. But definitely in years past, and maybe again in the future, we will have people that come in and help us in our home. And if that's the case, this makes it super easy to get them everything that they need in order to be successful. So that's our Walker Family Tracker. And again, yours can look differently, but just getting it all planned out so that you don't have to constantly be thinking about, okay, what needs to be done. You can say it's Monday, and then I get to give out the assignments and everyone knows what they're supposed to do and their piece to helping. So little is being done every day instead of it all falling on your shoulders. So I hope that's helpful.
Strategy number 2, strategic planning. It is really important that you know what's coming up ahead of the time. So when I look at my travel schedule, plus my schedule for activities and responsibilities that I have at church, plus all of the kids' activities, plus my husband's schedule, that calendar can look a little bit overwhelming. Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, oh, do I really want to even do all of this? And so we've got to be really clear on what we're doing to manage the schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we do this in our home, and maybe it'll be helpful for you as well.
Okay, let's take a look at the calendar. I use Google Calendar and I highly recommend it because of the fact that you can sync it to so many other types of calendars. Anybody who's using Google Calendar can share with each other. So the purple is my calendar. So those are all of the appointments that I've put in. So that would be work appointments. Also, I go through the calendar when the kids at the beginning of the year bring home the schedule that has all of the band things in there. I put every single one in. When we get the football game schedule, I put in every single game. The cross country one, I put in every single meet. Make sure that I have all the choir concerts. So all of that is going to be on my calendar. However, you can see the green calendar. That is the calendar for my kids' band. And I have a calendar in red that is a church calendar. My husband also shares his calendar with me as well. So most of the things I kind of put on here just because I like to be a little bit in control and I don't want to I don't want to miss things and then feel bad about it because it wasn't on the calendar. But this is really helpful because I then share this calendar with my with my husband and with my kids. And if it's not on the calendar, like if it doesn't show up, then I am not responsible for it. And that's critical. When people are telling me at the last minute, Mom, we have this thing tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to go. And so I've really had to train my kids to understand that mom can be at almost everything, um, if they let me know well enough in advance. And I can help them with any project as long as they don't wait until the last minute. But if they're trying to be last minute about things, I am probably not going to be able to help them or be there or whatever they need from me. So that's really critical, is that policy of if it's on the calendar, I'm there, I'm on it, we're good. If it's not on the calendar, it is not my responsibility. The other thing that we do is we do schedule coordination meetings. And if you head over to the behind the scenes episode, I'm leaving on a jet plane where I'm traveling to Monterey. You can actually see a little bit of the coordination meeting and just making sure that we know where everyone is supposed to be. When you've got a busy family, this calendaring is so important. Otherwise, you can get really confused. And I will say, knock on wood, we have never not picked somebody up. Never mind. I just remembered a time when we forgot to pick someone up and we got a call and I was like, I thought you were picking them up. I thought you were. But it doesn't happen very often. It's happened once. So as soon as I said that, I got that liar, liar, pants on fire feelings. And I had to think about it. And I do remember one time we forgot to pick up from Robotics Club. So anyway, it's important. When you've got a lot of moving pieces, you need to make sure that the calendar is in place, but also that you're not the only one who's taking responsibility for the calendar. That needs to be a shared responsibility.
Strategy number 3, just say no. There is no award for being overscheduled. There is no medal of honor that says you win the badge of the busiest, most overcommitted, scheduled person in the planet or the universe. Really, it's better to do less and to be deep in the areas that you choose to go deep in than it is to say, oh yeah, I can help with that, I'll be involved over here, I'll do this, I'll do that, and then pretty soon you find yourself a mile wide and only an inch deep. That's not what we want to do. So you've got to get really good at learning how to say no. Here's what I do. When somebody presents me with an opportunity or asks me to be involved, I say, thank you so much for thinking of me. Will you give me a day to look that over and see if it fits in with everything else that we have going on, and I'll get back to you. So what that does for me is it allows me to be gracious when they're asked instead of just like shooting them down quick and be like, nope, 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 nope. But it also allows me to be able to go and really think through, is this the best thing for me to say yes to? Because every time I say yes to one thing, I'm saying no to something else. So if I say, yes, I will be one of the band moms this year, then I'm saying no to being able to see my other kids do their activities on Saturdays when there's an overlap. Because if I was a band mom, I'd have to be there for the entire day of the competition instead of just going and watching my kid perform. So I have to look at that and I have to look at the trade-off and see, when I say yes to this, what am I saying no to over here? And I don't always see that clearly in the moment. In the moment, everything sounds fun, so I might as well just say yes, right? But if I'll take that pause and I'll give myself a minute to really go and look at it, that is really helpful with not getting me overcommitted. Strategy number 4, your business is a priority. So one of the things that I have found is business owners tend to say my business is the highest priority or my business comes after. And both of those will be really detrimental to your business growth. What you've got to do is say my business is a priority, just like my husband's career is a priority, or just like my children's activities are a priority, or just like faith and family time is a priority. Whatever your priorities are, your business is a priority, and it needs to get equal billing, but it shouldn't be the primary priority, and it also shouldn't be a lesser priority. It's not something that you just fit in around the edges of your life, and it's not something that should take over every area of your life. So set some work hours. I mean, that's the easiest way to do it. Set a schedule for yourself of I work from this time to this time. I generally work from about 7:30 until about 3:30. And there will be days when that will go longer, and there may be days when I take off because I've got a lot of errands to do or there's a lot of things going on with the family. But in general, that's my work schedule, and people know it. Just because you may be an entrepreneur who works at home, or just because you're a business owner and people know you have flexibility, does not mean that they can call you in the middle of the day and say, hey, I know you're not doing anything because you're at home. And I'm sitting here going, working at home, right? You set your work hours and then you start training and teaching people. When somebody calls you in the middle and asks for something, you say, you know what, I'm not able to do that right now because I'm working, but I get done at this time. Let me know if I can still be of service then. And it really helps to start setting those parameters. So your business, you don't want it to take over every area of your life, but you also don't want to put it on the back burner. Okay, strategy number 5. This is going to be your final one. Define your roles and your responsibilities. One of the things that I found when I was early on in business was I had been raised by a stay-at-home mom, and then after my parents divorced and my grandma moved in with us, I was raised by a stay-at-home grandma. And so I always had, and then when my dad got remarried, he also married a stay-at-home mom. So I had all of these stay-at-home moms, and so my definitions of the roles in my life of wife and mother and all these different jobs, they were the definitions of somebody who was a stay-at-home mom, and it was really hard to manage. So when I started going in business, I would feel guilt because I wasn't doing things the way that this person had or the way that this person had. I also was taking the best qualities of my stepmom, my grandma, and my mom, and I was combining them together, mixing in a little bit of this friend and that neighbor and that person from church, and I created this very unrealistic definition of what my role should be as a wife and a mother. And when I started doing business, there was no way for me to fulfill that. There was no way for me to do all of those things. So what I learned was I had to come up with a new definition for what it means to me to be a wife and a mom and rock out that definition. So let me show you what it looks like to write your job description. There you have it, ladies and gents. If you have been looking for ways that you can really pursue and grow your business and still make sure that things are good on the home front, I hope these are really helpful tips and strategies for you. So you got 5 different strategies that you can use to create more order and balance between growing a business and the demands that are there, and also how do you manage the home front. So I hope it's been helpful. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you can stay plugged in for more how-to videos, more interviews, and also seeing the behind the scenes of what it actually looks like for me to run this company and manage this big crazy family. And if you like what we're talking about, make sure that you share on your social media platforms. Thank you so much and have a powerful day.